The Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio in downtown sunny, damp Bobcaygeon.
Yes, and welcome back, Terry. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Round of applause. A round of applause. The fans go wild.
Yeah. We missed you. You've been long gone in Calgary visiting your family out there.
Am
Something
I back,
I should
Jim,
do.
or am I just a 3D hologram of my former self?
Well, I don't know about that, Terry.
We have a lot of interesting things to catch up on. News and all kinds of stuff going on. And where we start is anybody's guess. Where we will go is also anybody's guess because we really just go.
We
with
just
the flow.
go. We're not tied to anything. Not success.
We're not tethered to doctrine or dogma. We wander all over the map.
All over the map, and we haven't been doing this for a couple of weeks because you've been in Calgary. And unlike you, I don't go on and do it. I take a vacation from it, and that's what I've been doing. So now it's good to be back in Bobcaygeon.
In Bobcaygeon. And you visited Bobcaygeon, did a drive-by just to see where the Hobbit Hole studio is?
Yeah, since my honey pie has been away, she's away.
Yes.
And I don't want to say too much because
that's
people
fine.
know where she lives. Anyways, I thought, well, I've got a few Saturdays free, so gone on road trip with a couple of friends, and our first road trip was Bobcaygeon. When we were going to set up a blanket like a picnic out in front of your house and just wait for someone to say, Dad, there's people on our lawn, right? But we decided not to do that, and we just went through the shops and did some shopping, and then went down to Lindsay and did a little
Garage
bit there,
sale.
and then back to Pefferlaw, where we had a barbecue, and that was the end of that day.
And
we've done this every week except last week. So
there's a kids series called The Mole Sisters, which was animated and put on television for children's broadcasting, but it was also a series of books that we used to get for my daughter. And the conclusion of most of the episodes was, and that was enough thinking for that day.
yeah.
And they would go on adventures as you did and come back and say, well, that was interesting.
Well, we got to do something, you know what I mean? And
Get out.
and,
Enjoy the summer.
Get out and get that vitamin, is it C?
D?
From the sun, D from the sun. Get that vitamin D and plan on doing something this weekend, and then that'll be it. My honey pie's back, and I can't do that kind of stuff.
I see, just from a personal observation, there is no moss that grows under your feet, but there is something on your chin.
I've grown a beard, folks, and I have to leave it on promise to some of my friends to let my girlfriend see it before I shave it off. I already know she doesn't like beards, but some of them... It's a mixed thing, Terry. It's so funny because I told you when I came in, remember I came in about 3 feet off the ground. I wanted to be that little old man come in with the beard, the white beard.
Stooped over.
And it was funny because some young people have said, oh, you look younger. And then older people say, you look so much older. So
Wow.
so I don't know what to think. And I have people that say, wow, I really like that. Others just don't say anything, and I know their opinion on it.
And I know that we should do a scientific experiment on your beard and do a survey and compile data for different age groups and gender and not say anything about what people think until we gather the data.
And we're not going to do that because it's going to get down to one person's decision.
Yes, it will.
And that's the one that has to touch this
Oh,
furry
that's
face.
awful because that is skewing the data, skewing it. Okay, let's go on to something that's political. Everybody's probably following this, I know. I watched with a bag of popcorn the indictment, the second one for this president. There's probably at least 2, possibly up to 6 more indictments to follow if all goes as we think it will go. So this is following the indictment and being charged, being guilty of liable for the E. Jean Carroll. She's being allowed to go with an E. Jean Carroll 2.0, so that's another indictment that's coming. She can charge him because he continued to talk. His trash talking about E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah, he keeps going. He's got the Georgia problem arising. I don't know how. I mean, you got his voice.
Yes.
Basically
just
saying.
give me 11,000.
And I've never seen one person get cut so much slack from the people who support him. I mean, he's done what he's done, folks. It's been explained 1,000 times, but here's the problem. And just for our audience sake, so you don't think I'm some weird lefty.
You are.
I am basically a Republican. I'd be a Republican in the States. But I mean, guys, you got to just look at some stuff here. And a lot of the people they interview, they won't look at it.
Yeah.
So talk about blind, just blind, saying, no, he can do no wrong, or he's allowed to do wrong.
Yes.
Wherever's in their minds. I think he's allowed to, he's the president. He can do anything he wants. He can kill you. Just like he said, I could shoot someone on Main Street and nobody will come after me.
Yes.
And I think Trump feels that way. And
no,
I think
he's definitely acting like it.
and those blind supporters feel that way too. Now, there's the people that really bother me. I'm sorry I'm gabbing so much, but the people that really bother me are part of the GOP. Those people who know different. They know they're selling their souls aren't theirs to sell. But
they don't have a soul.
Well, I mean, Trump raised $2.5 million in the first day.
Unbelievable.
You know, or maybe it was a week, but that's a lot of money. Being what he is and saying what he is. So every time Marjorie Greene Taylor opens her mouth, people give money. Same as the Jordan guy. Every time he opens his mouth, people give donations and money to them. So basically, the GOP that are supporting Trump, because they're not idiots, they're simply greedy. That's as simple as that. And the other thing is they're afraid that if they don't support Trump, those 73 million people that are for Trump will go to Trump's new party should he develop it. So that's his threat. You don't want me? I'm just going to form another party and take all those 73 million away because he loves the country so much, Terry. He'll just take those people away because he loves the country.
In the
so
realm
much.
of what are you thinking? All of those things that you pointed out. So I watched the indictment and I'm saying, I know the GOP would say, there's two systems of justice. Hillary Clinton did this and she never got charged. And then why are you picking on Trump? And I'm thinking, there are two systems of justice. And Trump is getting the advantage here because he did not get handcuffed. He did not get ankle bracelets. He did not get fingerprinted. He was allowed not to hand in his passport. And he was given
restrictions.
No restrictions. And I'm saying...
You'd be in jail, by the way.
You and me both, we could podcast from a cell somewhere.
But it's comparing this to all of the others. Even Biden had something. Apparently every president has done this. Somehow in the mix, they end up with some things. And I don't know if it's lazy. I don't believe they don't know they're there. They just put it aside. Maybe it's old top secret junk. I don't know. But the difference is, there they are. Biden said, search there. Oh, and you might as well
search here as well.
Yeah, look at my cottage as well. There's maybe stuff there.
Yep.
Pence said, yes, this was negligence on my part. I'm sorry. Take what you need and look for anything more if you want. They gave it up. All of this whole indictment against Trump, which I don't know if he's so stupid or he wanted it to go further. All of that could have been stopped if he just gave back the 450,812 boxes of accidentally taken home stuff. It wouldn't have been looked into, but he refused. And they ended up having to get a search warrant, not a raid, a search warrant for his house to get government property back.
After how long? It was
months
to a year.
Years. Yeah. And in between that time, also put into the mix with him having these top secrets, and some of those files are what they call 5i or something. That means there's really limited who can see it. We're in like bathrooms. And he's had officials from other countries at Mar-a-Lago. He's had officials at Mar-a-Lago go through that place.
But didn't you hear a GOP congressman say, but the bathrooms at least had locks, unlike Biden's garage?
Oh, for God's sakes. It's just day and night. There's no comparison. And the difference is Trump could have avoided this. Same as he just did something else that he was offered. If you just
plea deal.
A what? A plea deal. He just refused the plea deal. So he wants it. Because you know why? It appears to me he's guilty of sin. There's no way out other than to just con America and and hold it hostage to his narcissistic views.
Con Air was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I think it's Trump Air or Con Air.
But I won't argue anymore,
no.
Terry. I won't argue anymore
No.
with it. I've had it. You've been told. I had this argument just the other day with someone that
Really?
was saying, "Oh, well, Trudeau's lighting the fires in Quebec.
Oh.
He's lighting the fires." I said, "Look,
Let's get on to Canadian
yeah.
politics in a minute. Let's wrap this one up by taking a look at the specifics. Did you read the indictment? All 48 or 49
No, I didn't.
pages?
Yeah.
I got it on here and I pulled it up and I just went through the specific charges. And the charges are very specific. They list the specifics of the violations of the U.S. Code, and there's no getting out of this. He is going to be convicted.
Yes, for sure.
The question is, since he has nothing of the usual fingerprinted perp walk, handcuffed, anklets, hand in your
Mugshot.
passports, and all of that stuff, will he do time? Because the consequences, if the judge decides to rule, the code that guides the judge in assigning time for the crime, he will be locked up for the rest of his life.
Not going to do a day.
Not going to do
He's
a day.
not going to do
You've
a
got
day.
that prediction from the Jim
Yep.
of the Jim and Terry
He
show.
will not go to jail no matter what he does. He will never see the inside of a jail as being locked up.
Well, we have the cases of Richard Nixon. He resigned, though. Trump did not, say, okay, that's enough. Trump has never met a court that he didn't seem to love. So, I don't know what that.
That's my phone.
That's your phone. Okay, somebody's calling Jim. We'll take a break and come right back on more things political. This time, maybe a Canadian focus. I'm Terry,
I am Jim.
and together we're back in the Hobbit Hole, the Jim and Terry Show. Bye bye for now.
Back Carter.